Welcome back, everyone, to Into the Nexus, the podcast all about Heroes of the Storm. I'm Garrett Weinzierl, and I missed this fine show, but not as much as I missed Kyle Fergusson, who is here with me today.
Aw, well, welcome back, Garrett.
Thanks, dude. I know we already did a podcast today, but in case anyone here doesn't listen to Week Sauce, all one word, spelt like days of the week, little plug there, I wanted to let them know that I did indeed miss you.
Well, you're back. I mean, there's a lot that happened while you were gone, man. It's good to have you.
Dude, yeah, a lot did happen while I was gone. I don't know where to frickin' begin. You got your Dreadlord, and I missed it. I wasn't here for you getting a Dreadlord. I'm beyond sad about that.
There was a whole teaser over the weekend, too, and everyone was, like, messaging me and being like, Kyle, that's a bow, Kyle. And I still think they're right. It was a bow. There was this whole teaser thing, and they were doing, like, the cut-off images, and eventually it was, like, stylized Mal'Ganis holding a minion. But, there's a whole, like, it's fell green and purple. It's Moira. And I'm like, no, don't be Moira. That's fine. And I love her Halloween skin. It's fantastic. But no, I was ready. And they saw fit to relieve me of my vigil, finally.
Good. I'm glad. Oh my God, I'm so glad it wasn't Moira either. But that's just us and not being particularly ecstatic about Overwatch in general.
Well, and hey, it's Mal'Ganis. It's the man. It's the man himself. I know others have come along that in the passage of time, other Dreadlords may have had greater influences on the World of Warcraft lore, been bigger players in the game. But Mal'Ganis is the original, the schemer, the wait, what, you're gonna stab me, bro, guy. And I'm happy they went with him.
I am too. Mal'Ganis is that's my favorite Dreadlord as well. I'm glad that's what they went with. There's a Varamathras skin tint. If you're just being there like, no, how could you not make it Varamathras? You can just pretend. It's fine.
Yeah, you got a red one too. I mean, granted, they don't do the white face. He is a little clown is in towny looking. He's a crazy demon.
Yeah.
But you can dress up. It's called Undercity Mal'Ganis. So if you want to, like what I do for Tychondrius is I do the red skin and then I put him on Illidan mount because he's the one that primarily interacted with Illidan. And there you go. You got them all.
There it is. You figured it out. Kyle. Although, am I crazy or does he not have a flying self-mount?
No flying self-mount for him.
Why? He's got giant wings.
Well, one of the classic lines from Mal'Ganis as a Warcraft 3 hero was, if I have wings, why am I always walking? said with a bit more bleh, the vampire thing going on.
Listen, pissed lines from Warcraft 3 do not trump things looking cool in Heroes of the Storm, in my opinion.
I will say that if we're going to name one disappointment about Mal'Ganis, it's that he doesn't have a very good standing mount position. It's kind of one leg forward. I get, he's got the hooves, the cloven feet.
Yep.
And maybe that complicates with the extra joint business, how you stand straight. But the guy who's leading the whole way on the standing front, the standing meta, is overtaken by Malthael. Because he's got his blades back. He's leaning into it. He looks awesome.
Yeah, he does. It's some good stuff. But before we get too caught up, and before I just forget to mention it, because I've been doing a terrible job of letting everybody know about our BlizzCon meetup this year, because we're doing another one. And we're going back to the bowling alley, Kyle. We're going back to the Bowlmore, Anaheim. And however, it's not going to be on Thursday. Thursdays are just too busy. There's too many things happening on Thursday. Also, the bowling alley closes at 11 on Thursday.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a bummer.
We've sort of stayed there till 2 a.m. the times we hosted, and they've been very gracious and very kind, and I know you all have supported them well, which has been fantastic. Never mad about it, but let's let those workers go home.
I was not here for if that happened. I definitely remember them being like, lights on, see y'all.
Get out.
But so we're going back to the Bowlmore, Anaheim. If you're not familiar with this, it is in the Anaheim Garden Walk Mall. It is right around the corner from the Anaheim Convention Center. You can walk there. If you've had a couple drinks at the Hilton, I'm sure it's a very affordable Uber. So go check that out. We're going to be there Friday night, November 2nd. If you were looking for a calendar date, so this is after the first day of BlizzCon, and it's going to start at 9 p.m. local time, and it should be a good time. In the past, we have sometimes bowled, but usually it's a lot of drinking, playing pool, playing Hearthstone on the Wi-Fi, and just hanging out.
And last year's schedule should accommodate us very well. We were actually done, as I remember it, at about 6:30 with eSports. They were so tightly scheduled and ready to roll. So we should be right on time. It says here that the eSports is going to go till about 8 p.m. And that'll give you plenty of time to get over there. Check out amove.tv for more information.
Yeah, BlizzCon's interesting because they don't really... I've never tried to ride it out. I don't know at what point they actually just try and boot you out of the convention center, because I know people are there way later than I am.
There was a year, 2 years ago, I want to say. Yeah, that sounds right, because Kristen was doing her Sonya cosplay, and everybody left. You know, it was empty. We were the last people. It was like being in those secret back restaurants in Epcot, and the employees got to come find you.
Oh, that's right.
You know?
That happened to us at Epcot.
It did. They were very kind. Again, very kind people. But it was freezing, as you can imagine, because you're used to having 20,000 some odd people in there. It goes down to maybe 2,000 people, 500 max, watching this 9:30 at night eSport event continue, and we were insanely cold.
Now that you're mentioning it, I do remember this because I didn't see you at all that night. And the next morning, I'm like, where the hell were you? And you're like, oh, man, we just stuck it out to the bitter end. It was great, but it was freezing.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tight group, man. Like, those seats, all of us crammed in the front couple of rows. You know, you're sitting there I was like sitting 2 feet from Dreadnought, sitting by J-How. Like, you know, it was awesome. And everyone's just turning to each other and being like, yeah, that play or this play. And everyone's just chilling. It was the core audience.
That's badass, man. That's the funnest thing. I don't know. There's so many fun things about BlizzCon, but just like look around you when you're sitting, because you'll be amazed by who you're surrounded with. I don't even remember if it was Heroes or StarCraft or what it was, but one year I was just sitting there in my seat, a couple people sitting down next to me, and I turn, I'm like, oh my God, that's Mike Morheim. All right, well,
yeah,
he's just gonna take a load off and watch some esports. That's what he's gonna do. And yeah, it happens a lot. I was behind Brian Kibler's dog Shiro one year in the Hearthstone pit. That was fun.
Nice.
His beautiful white Pomeranian. Yeah, it's a good thing. Just keep an eye out when you're sitting down. So, yeah. So, anyways, Baltimore, Anaheim, Friday, November 2nd, 9 p.m. local time, right around the corner from the Anaheim Convention Center. Come say hi to all your favorite A-Move podcasters. And it's not just A-Move. Most of the Frog Pants hosts are going to be out there. And Chan Man and some of the crew from HS Replay, the Hearthstone stats website, are also going to be out there. So lots of folks to come say hi to. It's always a good time. Super chill. It's like my favorite part of BlizzCon.
It's good. And this year we're not hosting it ahead of time. So we won't be making poor predictions the whole night. We'll actually be reacting to things, which I'm really excited for.
Yeah, we'll actually get to talk about what was announced.
As that one guy who like accidentally got to look in the doors, walk around being like, oh, I know, yeah, you're gonna really like it. And I'm like, oh, you're just killing me, man.
Thanks, Blizzard employee.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
This one every year is just like, I'm gonna mess with them. But yeah, it's gonna be a good time. We're still gonna make wrong predictions at Con Before the Storm. I'll be making wrong Hearthstone predictions. You'll be making wrong Heroes of the Storm predictions.
Yep, that's Thursday night.
That is Thursday night
over in the Hilton.
Yep. So go to the Hilton for Con Before the Storm Thursday night if you want to see Kyle on the Heroes panel and me on the Hearthstone panel. It's gonna be a good time. That's a good party as well. Free admission, no ticket needed. Come on in. So it's good. I had someone tweet at me this week. It was like, hey, I live local, like 30 minutes away. Is there stuff to do if I don't go to BlizzCon? And I'm like, oh, yes. yes, there is. Basically, every night at the Hilton, there's something going on.
It's something. If you haven't viewed the Hilton around BlizzCon, it's a party.
Yeah, it is. And this is, speaking of BlizzCon, Kyle, this is our final episode before BlizzCon.
That's true.
Because this time next week, we'll be getting ready for Con Before the Storm.
And
And, well, it's a Thursday. That's it. We'll be getting ready for Calm Before the Storm. And
We're also going to be broadcasting live.
that'll be on
from
Friday.
BlizzCon.
That'll be on Friday,
Yes,
not on
Friday.
Thursday. On Friday. Yeah, we're going to be right after the opening ceremony. So I don't think we can help you if you're there in person. But if you're at home enjoying BlizzCon from a distance or watching it on Twitch, tune in to twitch.tv/amovetv because Kyle, you and I are going to be at one of the streaming stations in the Heroes demo area doing a live episode of Into the Nexus, and I'm hoping we can wrangle a dev or two.
Might be able to snag one. I mean, this is right after the opening ceremony. We will basically crowd surf to our location of streaming and then broadcast live to you. I'm super excited about it. Not only that, if we do get a dev, it's the first time they have to say those things that day instead of like the 20th time they tell reporters what they need to say about new map, new character, whatever it may be. So we get it fresh. Like, it's going to be hype of machine.
We should see if we can bring a box of coffee and just be like, oh, welcome to the show. Here you go. Here's a coffee. Enjoy. Sit down. Get comfortable. Tell us all your secrets.
Yeah. We'll start like a line. Have snacks inside. And all the devs will be like, well, wait, what's this? What's going on? Oh, man, I'm getting interviewed. I'm stuck.
You got me. By the laws of media credentials, I am now bound to complete this interview.
I must complete an interview or give blood.
It's so good, man. I'm looking forward to it, dude. I love BlizzCon. I love just like seeing you, seeing Jaws. Dills doesn't go anymore, sadly. But just seeing everybody in person it's such a freaking blast. I miss you guys. You're my favorite people. I wish we all lived together.
Yeah, I mean, there is a magic around BlizzCon. Some people say, oh man, I didn't stop by. I didn't have anything to say. It would have been awkward. Let me tell you, we are all brought together by a common thing, BlizzCon. You got something to say, whether it's that looks sweet or hey, nice to see you. I encourage you all to stop by any of those events we've mentioned. Say hello. Looking forward to meeting you. Again, as I offer every year, if you put a hand forward, it's a handshake. Don't try to pull some snappy. I get confused. I get flustered. But if you say huzzah, I will give you a huzzah. That is a arm grab in the stylings of medieval Renaissance fairs.
Oh, I was going to say like a Roman handshake.
Yeah, well, you might have been playing Assassin's Creed or something.
No, I haven't been. I want to. It looks good, but Red Dead Redemption comes out tomorrow, so sorry.
Guess if you say they've got you pushing pencils, maybe I'll give you a Schwarzenegger.
The in the middle of the air arm wrestle.
Yeah. Kristen would like that more though. She's ripped.
All right, I look forward to watching people arm wrestle your wife all night. This is gonna be a good time.
She'd accept the challenge.
But yeah, it's gonna be cool, and we really appreciate the Heroes community team for inviting us to record from the demo area. So should be good. It's gonna be on twitch.tv/amovetv, which means afterwards I can convert it to audio and put it up on the feed.
Yep.
Woo! I'm assuming we're gonna be using headsets, so don't expect our sultry tones through these types of microphones.
Right, we'll be able to maybe make some background magic happen. These are booths, so we should cancel out general noise. But if someone comes by on the glass and goes, there's no stopping it.
I'll be able to do a pass, that's for sure. So that will be the next episode of Into the Nexus you hear on the feed. Will be one live from BlizzCon. I'm very much looking forward to it. But yeah, back to catching up. So what we got Mal'Ganis. Came out. Haunted Minds.
Meat wagons. We never talked about meat wagons.
Right. Meat wagons are great, although they look really goofy when you ride them.
They do have to be translated into, like, scooters?
Yeah. The model is great. Like, it's one of my favorite models in the game, but it just doesn't really work as a mount.
Yeah, I really wouldn't want that running between my legs either.
That's a very good point.
And the back has spikes on it, so it'd be great for posture.
Oh man, I don't need. It's fine. I can sit up straight. I can get a lumbar support pillow. I don't need spikes. Yeah. And then Haunted Minds is just out. This is like Christmas for me, Kyle. You do not understand how happy I am.
It's nice not to see it though. I play with with casual friends who still haven't seen Hanamura, who haven't seen the new Garden Terror.
Really?
It's a big map pool.
It is. Yeah, I guess that's fair. I mean, honestly, yeah, I can't remember the last time I got Hanamura. It is a big map pool. They should bring it down a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like
A little off the top.
I get it more in the mornings. Maybe it's like a morning map, like Midnight Salmon or something.
I'm sure this is purely anecdotal.
Yeah, totally. But I also play a lot as my morning hero show goes.
That is also very true. But yeah, so I'm stoked that it's gone. But also, like, I didn't really play quick match, so it didn't affect me all that much. But still, when I get home from a trip and I'm like, oh, Mal'Ganis, I want to make sure I can play him, and I go in a quick match, I'm glad that's not on Haunted Mines.
Oh, you also you missed your buddies getting nerfed. Brightwing got a buff actually, but Kerrigan and Tyrande got nerfs to their main builds.
Yeah. I still think they're fine though. I think they're just balanced.
Yeah.
Just still feeling good, which is good because I came back with no practice and I was like, well, I'm just gonna keep playing what I was playing regardless of the changes because the kits are the same.
And that's Tyrande's still really nuts too. I play with a lot of teams that struggle against her because she just gets to stand there and auto attack, which means her heals are flying. And if you put someone in her face to be like, hey, Tyrande, stop it, she's going to be like, oh, you want me to heal myself instead? I do that even better. And you're just like, geez, girl, calm down.
Yeah, no, I think it's fine. I think Kerrigan, you kind of need the right map or the right comp right now for her, as opposed to her just being a blind pick. As I felt she was before I left. But I still like where Kerrigan's at. And then, yeah, Tyrande is fine. Keep playing Tyrande.
And you'll get a Kerrigan. I mean, right now, it's no one wants to fight Asmodan still when you're doing bans. You got Garrosh's, you got Genjis that people still ban out. Whitemane sees a lot of bans. But Mal'Ganis is taking one of those spots with his 60 maybe plus win rate, depending on what mode you're in.
Yeah, he's doing real well. Doing real well.
Yeah.
No. Well, with that in mind, because we have stats to talk about, but it's a little bit later in the news rundown. Let's just move straight into this week's Heroes News.
We're on, boys! Ha-ha! Let's liven up this place!
The moment is upon us.
Yes, I'd mana tap that.
So this is old news if you've been reading up and whatnot, but it happened right after the Jeff Kanata episode, and there wasn't really a place for it in the Not Paradox episode, which was amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
Like every time,
he was amazing.
Every time you grab someone who hasn't been on the show before, when I'm gone, I feel like it's one of the best episodes.
Well, you also get to listen to it. I mean, it's bias,
That's true.
Right?
That's fair.
People don't like the sound of their own voice sometimes. You're not there. You're like, oh my God, this sounds great. Who are these people?
I listen to about 20 minutes of each show I do maybe twice a year just to make sure I'm not slacking in the editing department. That's about as much of my own voice as I can take.
Sometimes like old random episodes. But yeah, there's a lot to listen to, and I already listened to myself do it. So
Yeah. But anyways, Alan DeBeery has left the Heroes team. He has not left Blizzard. He's not pulling a Mike Morheim or a Ben Brode or Young Woo or a Chris Metzen. But he is no longer,
to name a few.
Yeah, he's no longer on the head of Heroes. He's off to another project. And at this point, Kyle, I know it's only been 2, but I think the head of Heroes is becoming the dark arts teacher in Harry Potter.
That begs the question, who's Snape, who always wants the job but doesn't get it, and is totally badass when they take it, but the community hates them for no reason.
Well, I feel like the students hate Snape for very obvious reasons, Kyle.
That's true. I mean,
if you
it's
had
been a long time since I've taken a house quiz. I did.
Had you not added the people hate them thing, this would have been a fun exercise. But now it's like we're trying to figure out which developers everyone like yells at, and that's just I don't want to inhabit that space.
Hate is a strong, maybe a stern developer, perhaps. Mysterious.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you, Kyle.
It is. I like your comparison a lot, naturally. Dustin Browder, of course, we talk of fondly a lot because he had Cloud. He would show up and definitely be like, hey, guys, it's going to be okay. And we'd be like, oh, thank you. Thank you, Dustin, for saying so. Do you have any information? And we're like, oh, well, he spoke. At least it worked out. Alan DeBeery was a bit more mysterious, though certainly passionate. And his final post here on the forums suggests that we're maybe looking at KO Milker as our follow-up lead developer.
Yeah, DeBeery drops KO's name, I think, like 6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
So that's my assumption, is that KO's up next. I'm very on board if that's the case. KO's a great guy, and has done a lot of great things for the game. So that would not surprise me, and it wouldn't bum me out either. As for DeBeery leaving, I don't really have a lot of feelings on it. He wasn't very public.
No, I can't blame him. We're a tough crowd.
Yeah. Like to me, I feel like I'm still getting over Browder leaving because for God's sake, we had a bumper for Browder tweets because the man was so vocal every week.
Yeah.
And DeBeery was like the opposite of that. He kind of reminded me of Wings of Liberty era StarCraft devs, where it was just every now and then they would go out into the balcony, shout some type of decree, and then retreat to the workroom.
The safety, of their box products, perhaps. And it is a comforting post, to talk about some of the insides of it. He says part of their DNA from the beginning was to be very have a lot of experimentation. And I like that they've continued that, though this year's hero releases are very safe, perhaps, very standard fan favorites, and have all released extremely well and have places in the meta. We're not getting any more specialists. We're not pushing the envelope, and it's easy to think that Dustin Browder was in love with the concept. Like, he played a MOBA for the first time and went and was like, well, what the heck is this? Why would anyone play this thing? And they're like, well, sir, it's a very popular guy. And he's like, well, how am I supposed to play this without Abathur, without Lost Vikings? This is stupid. And they're like, well, okay, we'll build a framework so we can put your ridiculous ideas in there.
It's a good story. I hope that's true.
I hope so too.
Yeah. So I'm not worried at all. We've been through this once already with Heroes, and I think the game is definitely better now than when Browder left. And that's not a dig at Browder or anything. I'm just trying to compliment the team. That's saying even when leadership changes, they keep soldiering on and improving the game. So this doesn't worry me at all.
And if even half of our rumors and speculation about how small, tight, underfunded the dev team is, my goodness, we get a lot. We get a lot of bang for that free-to-play buck. And it is a delight, while often called, the stepchild and the one living under the staircase and whatnot at Blizzard Entertainment. I just love being on top. I can't hide my joy sometimes when people are trying to talk about other games of Blizzard and they're like, here's the storm. God, the devs love them. They listen to everybody. But if we were half the team that Blizzard Heroes gets, my goodness, we'd fix this expansion. And whether or not that's true, I still smile.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same thing when you're a sibling and it's not a good thing to do, but your sister's getting yelled at by your parents and you're listening in because you're not in trouble for once.
Sounding very personal.
I mean, I got in trouble a lot. I'm a forgetful kid. Still am.
Yep. But I do the same thing. I've been bringing up Heroes a lot lately when talking about Hearthstone and Warcraft, two Blizzard games that are under quite a bit of criticism at the moment. And I always point to Heroes and be like, oh man, yeah, they do a really good job with their communication, the constant iteration. I like it. Some might argue it's too much, but I feel like somewhere between Heroes and Hearthstone is a happy medium.
This year in particular is very bizarre for BlizzCon. And having been through the StarCast days with you, doing a show that covered StarCraft, really had to wait for expansions, really having to wait for BlizzCon to get any news at all in a lot of ways that wasn't eSports related. it's so weird how video game journalism, perhaps, or our sensibilities on video games has changed. For some reason, in my mind, keeps popping up like how amazing it was that Thanos was in Fortnite, like how topical and on time that was. And I feel like as a gaming community, we're just not patient enough for the BlizzCon machine these days.
With regards to Heroes of the Storm?
In general, with video gaming, I feel like it's easy. A lot of people are talking about BlizzCon. Here it comes. Nothing to say. Here comes the disappointment. And I'm sitting here going, no. They're like, silence means BlizzCon means something. You know, they've had to throw you some carrots because you can't sit still.
I mean, I don't know. There was so much hype for Diablo, and then the schedule was released, and it just poured gas onto the fire, and then they immediately had to walk it back.
Yeah.
So I can understand where that came from in a larger sense. But man, I don't know. I mentioned this on Angry Chicken earlier this week that like kind of across the board, it feels like most Blizzard games are having to come into BlizzCon with the guard up. You know, World of Warcraft just had its big new expansion, and everyone's criticizing it. This is its first post-launch of BFA, BlizzCon. You know, first big kind of public outing with the dev team. So, you know, they're going to have to come in ready. I'm sure they're expecting hard questions if they do a Q&A. Diablo, you know, if they get up there and announce anything that isn't another game, which it sounds like that's definitely not happening, that's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to spin.
You know, I've got a wish for BlizzCon I want to share. And I hope that they take a page from the Ben Brode book and pull up that chair, sit in it backwards, you know? Like, really hang out with us. And they do it on the Heroes stage. That we go from the Mythic stage, which is going to be full of, perhaps, I mean, I'm a bit of I enjoy watching a good dumpster fire. I apologize, you know? I've been reading the Reddit for Diablo. I never go there until things were on fire, and I had fun with it. They want people in the crowd ready to boo.
You just wait until there's a train crash, and then you start paying attention.
A little, it's human, you know. Something's going, wait, what? Outside the window, and you're like, wait, what? Like, you know, I don't watch the window for accidents, but when I hear, I think, what? So it happens. I hope they come to the hero stage where the heroes people are waiting for HGC to start. And that's where they do the talk. Not in the Mythic stage where it's full of angry Diablo people and ready to be placated World of Warcraft people. Like, give us a home like that tavern was for the kobolds and catacombs.
I mean, that would be great, but it doesn't have that. I mean, Hearthstone has that, still has it. But, I mean, the Heroes panel's at the end of the day, man. It's not like it's coming off, like, hot off the heels of the Diablo panel.
Oh no, but I'm talking about the announcements, the first hour where we jumped to Ben Brode in his
home
tavern.
I misunderstood. Yeah, you're talking about how that's right. They did do that last year. They jumped around. That was great. Oh man, you're making me miss Ben Brode again.
I'm sorry.
It was so good last year.
We all miss him.
It was so good.
And I want, if it is KO Milka who comes out and he's like, "Hey guys, I'm the new dev," like I want him to be in his house. You know, I don't want him announcing that on the street.
Yeah, no, I think I mean, last year, that particular way of doing the opening ceremony, I thought went off perfectly.
Yeah.
Also, just as an attendee, it's hard to get a seat in the main hall for the opening ceremony, so it's nice to know, like, oh, they're just going to jump around to all the stages. So if it's like, I got to go to Overflow, it's like, well, I'm going to go to Overflow for my favorite game because there's a good chance that the devs are going to actually be there in person for that particular talk.
I mean, 2 years ago, I watched it from the Overwatch arena because I knew I wasn't going to go in there for eSports, but it was beautiful. And I'm glad I got to spend some time sitting in that arena before it became a madhouse.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, speaking of which, they're also doing that with the bands. They have 3 bands this year.
Okay.
And they're dividing them up by stage. It's not like each one does a mini act.
Oh, come on, man. You know I have nothing nice to say about this.
I am not surprised, but I think it shows what Blizzard needs, and it's what you're asking for.
Just top 40 songs that are safe for your mother?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure we're on the same page.
Okay, all right. Hey, we got your niche band, your metal hair band, BlizzCon, and 90s, 80s fans of Blizzard and 2000 Warcraft 3 players go woo, and then we go to the forums and we go, hey, I want more people in my queue. You should advertise. You're going to advertise to the people who are already listening to your music and listening and playing your game already? No, you want a wider audience. So what they've done here is they've set up 3 different venues of 3 different music types for people to enjoy in different ways. Not everyone's going to enjoy. I mean, some of them are really on point. Like, I think Tenacious D, Weird Al, like that is so like, we're all here anyway. Why not? But Muse, like, it's weird.
I don't want to just crap on music, but yeah, I got nothing nice to say. They've got 3 acts like Christian Aaron. I like Christian Aaron. It's not my particular cup of tea. And then there's some woman I've never heard of, and Train.
What, Lindsay Sterling? She does the violin through the woods and like covers of Game of Thrones.
No idea who she is.
Absolutely
no clue. And then Train, which is Nickelback territory as far as I'm concerned.
Train does that Soul Sister song, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. And it haunts my dreams still. I worked retail when that was top 40.
Okay. But that's... We had one Christmas CD. One. And it was exactly an hour and 40 minutes long. And by the time I listened to it 6 times in my... that's too much.
Was this when you were working at the bookstore?
Yeah, the bookstore.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
I could count my day by the time Frank Sinatra came on for that final song,
Okay, fair, yeah.
So that's fair. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. That that's traumatizing. You're free to pass.
They're like a late 2000s Smash Mouth to me. Like, it's just the safest music in the world that I don't want to hear.
I think that it's a fantastic move because we are broadening our audience. And it's good to be, I was going to say, inclusive. It's a word that means so many more things. It's good to appeal to so many audience types. And we want games to be big. And that means we got to break our shell a little bit. BlizzCon's for all types.
Gross.
I love your purity.
To me, I look at it and I'm like, well, we used to have very specific, well-curated food. Like, if you're really into sushi or you're into Indian food or whatever, like, it was very specific, but whoever's into it's really into it. And now I'm just like, it sounds like they're like, and we got Shownotes. And I'm like, okay. Well,
I mean, I would go a step further. I'd say it's a cruise boat.
all right.
You're not going to order an egg roll at Shoney's. You already messed up. All right. You go to Denny's, you got yourself a steak. Whoops. All right. This wasn't a steak restaurant. This is Denny's. But you're on a cruise boat, and the Chinese looks pretty good.
Yeah.
The steak looks pretty good. You might get an egg roll and put it next to pasta. Why not?
Fair. This has already gone on longer than I wanted it to. I was just like, I'm grumpy about this. I know I'm grumpy about this, and I kind of don't want to talk about it.
I'm pleased. I'm forced it out of you.
I'm just like, no one's passionate about this. Anyways, shall we move on and talk about more heroes? Because we're coming to the end of the Heroes year now. After BlizzCon, it's going to get pretty quiet. It tends to get very quiet in December. And looking back at 2018, we can't help but notice it's basically been the year of Overtuned hero releases.
Yeah, fan favorites certainly, but now with Mal'Ganis, happily for some, absolutely overachieving in the Nexus, it does look like our business plan perhaps this year was to make our purchases feel real good.
I mean, that's, I think, the most nefarious way to highlight it. Sure. You're defending train, but you're throwing powerful heroes under the bus.
I'm not throwing it under the bus. Let's think back, Think back, I love Venomancer from Dota. I love Poison characters, Lunar releases, and I did not have fun. And Zarya seemed really cool. I like shields. And play a Disc Priest. Shields are awesome. Did not like that release. I have bad memories of such a release. And I think about this past year, and even characters like Phoenix that just didn't match the playstyle I was looking for, maybe even disappointed that it wasn't something that I wanted, even though, Phoenix is cool. He's high in my book, but I don't like Dragoons. I still think of everything on this list as, yeah, that was a good release.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where my head's at. And what would you rather have? Would you rather have them come out and be bad and no one play them and them not affect the game in a meaningful way? Because I think there's so many things about this that I like. One, that just people play them. I like that. If a new hero comes out, I want to see the new hero. And you're not going to see the new hero if they don't have a positive win rate. I also want them to affect the draft. Again, that's tied directly in with them having a positive win rate. And then, I don't know. I mean, I have a list. I have the list of every hero released ever in order in front of me. Let's just go back to 2017. First hero released in 2017, Zul'jin. Came out to average release.
Sure.
Valera after him became a quick match hero, but not much more beyond that. Lucio actually kind of took the game by storm.
Yeah, he kind of that was Braxis in particular. Lucio was just a force.
Yeah. Probius, broke my heart.
It's pretty crazy. In fact, last night I got together with the core guys, and it was actually a special event. It was Gorath's 10,000th game of Heroes. So he had saved it for us. He got to 9,999 games.
Oh, my God.
And then was like, I'm saving this for our big meetup in the week. And what we did for that game is we looked at our profiles at preseason. We all picked our top played hero at preseason. And then for our next game after that, we did our top played hero in season 1 of 2016, I think it was the first official season. And then on and on after that. And it was a blast. We got to play some heroes that were old favorites. Some of them had changed dramatically. Like my preseason hero was Azmodan. Can't play him now. Don't stack me, bro. I just don't want to stack. There was one moment though where we were playing our season 1 heroes and we fought Mal'Ganis, and he destroyed us. And you felt that power creep a bit. We got wrecked.
Yeah. I mean, I think you can dial it in a bit. Like, Mal'Ganis is too strong. But also with the speed with which the game changes, it doesn't bother me that much. Because I'm not seeing him in draft environment because he's getting banned. The game corrects itself in that way.
Like that, there's a very big difference between when things released OP in the past, and we had 2 bans in the whole early game to deal with it. And you're talking to your one guy who maybe isn't even at his computer yet, and be like, ban it! Oh my God, you gotta get rid of who were we actually like banning day 1? Ragnaros maybe. Like, oh, you gotta get rid of Ragnaros. He's gotta go. And he misses the ban, and then it's over. By the time the second ban rolls around, he's like, oh wait, Ragnaros, I ban Garrosh these days. Oh, I can get rid of that. So there's a very high chance that Mal'Ganis is actually going to be banned. We control the system now through those bans.
Right. And that's why I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. And I've enjoyed the hero rollout this year quite a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe Phoenix is the first thing that pops in my mind that lasted a little too long in terms of his strength. But I don't know, after that, what did we start with this year? We started with Blaze. Maiev and Phoenix. That was, I think, the peak of too much power that stuck around a little too long.
Yeah, Phoenix for me was highlighted by a lack of Raynor rework at the time. He was just Raynor with a teleport and a spinny laser.
Yeah, you're right. Phoenix is the reason we spent like 4 months just being like, hey, where's Raynor's rework?
Yeah, well, not only Space Bros, but the fact that he was just kind of doing everything better. And now Raynor's got a really solid place. In fact, this afternoon I watched a game with Raynor and Phoenix on the same team in HGC. It was cool to see him growing up. They took Hyperion, which was awesome.
Yep. I watched that game. There's some good games today.
I've actually been on a huge Maiev kick recently.
Ooh.
I don't know why.
Sometimes it just clicks, man.
Actually, I know why. I don't trust my melee assassins anymore.
Oh, well, there you go.
That's my new thing.
All I ask from you is honesty.
Yeah. Well, you'll get it. Always.
Great. So, and actually, I didn't even realize this last year, but the 2 heroes announced at BlizzCon, Alexstrasza and Hanzo last year, were the last 2 heroes of the year. Hanzo was the last hero released in the second week of December. Hanzo released, and then we hit our big old holiday break.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Seems like this is the trend, though, going forward. We will have powerful hero releases, and with our double bans, it is our job to control them.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, do you think it's good or bad? You haven't really.
I think
said.
it's fine.
Okay, yeah, I'm in the same boat. I like it. I like seeing them.
I'd rather see a fun, stupid movie than a great, boring movie.
Okay.
No, but like release, like you're standing outside the theater and Mal'Ganis is released, and everyone's coming out of theater, their popcorn bag, they're like still eating because they didn't eat any popcorn because they had such a great time. And they're like, man, that was really good. And some guys like, Lucio died, and you're like, shh, oh, he didn't die. Spoilers. Because he's just messing with everybody because people want to be messed with. And then you have to go through like the Shreks and people doing the slow-mo jumps for like 5 months because everyone has to do their Matrix jokes. But, it's worth it.
All right, fair. Yeah,
then we need to have a conversation whether or not the character was too violent and if it was okay for kids to watch. And, but that means it was good.
Gotcha. So we're expecting a Mal'Ganis tweak Tuesday, right?
Oh,
or
yes.
Wednesday?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, gotta happen. Gotta happen.
Yeah, it's a build. It's pretty easy for them to have at a good chunk of it. I mean, right now, we talked a bit about it last week. You're going that time to feed to regen yourself at level 1. You're probably doing the armor heals you, fueled by torment at level 4. And the big change over the last week has been Will of Tichondrius is too much. That is your level 7, 4% maximum health steal. They say it basically, you're a giant killer and you get that health because you get health for whatever damage you deal. And then you throw blind as bat on it. If they've got a tank, it's gone.
I haven't gotten good at blind as a bat.
You find excuses. Like, how Johanna's shield bounces on a building and prioritizes heroes?
Yeah.
So don't aim at the Genji running in circles or the Tracer. Just aim at the building and it'll bounce onto him.
Ah, okay.
So with blind as a bat, you take it in the Infernal Shrines pit. You take it.
Yeah,
you do it when you're near a building in a boss pit. So like if you're flailing around randomly, you're accomplishing something. You're getting down that fort, those towers. Somebody's suffering somewhere.
All right, gotcha. Makes sense. Makes sense. I hadn't really thought about it that way, but that makes a lot of sense. Again, overall, I really like his kid. I'm crap with him. I think it's because I'm also a pretty bad Diablo, and I feel like there's similar skills here. But I also haven't had a ton of time because I was traveling. So I'm feeling very passionate about Mal'Ganis, even though he is not immediately clicking for me.
There's a through line I'd like everyone to think about if they want to get good at Mal'Ganis, but also Diablo. You got your level 1 talent, Feast on Fear. This is stunning an enemy hero with Shadow Charge or Overpower, heals Diablo for 12% of his maximum health over 3 seconds. This is how you think about these characters, and it really clicks once you get there. So you have to stun. So a Shadow Charge into a wall, that's a stun. Shadow Charge, no wall, no stun. But let's say you're getting worn down. You're going down below 25% health. Just pick Johanna up and, move her sideways. Don't move her into your back line, but kind of sidestep her, move her sideways. Boom. 12% of your maximum health coming to you over 3 seconds. And when you start thinking aggressive like that, I think because you play Sonya as well, you're going to click. And now that Diablo and Tichondria, or sometimes you dress up as Tichondrius, Mal'Ganis are going to start rolling.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. I appreciate the tip.
Yeah.
So, I guess moving away from Mal'Ganis and 2018 as the year of Overtuned Heroes, BlizzCon's right around the corner, and on Reddit today, a reminder went out that features were promised back in 2016 at BlizzCon that have not come to the game.
A sober moment.
Yeah, although I got to say half of these I don't care about. Some of them have been delivered on, and then there are a few where I'm like, okay, where the hell are these features?
Yeah, I mean, these were shown as part of a text flying at you tweet and presentation at BlizzCon 2016.
Yep.
Showcasing hero swaps, party finder improvements, clans.
Yeah, so we still haven't gotten hero swaps, but talking about it right now, it's hard to feel like we need them.
The community has spoken. I've had Team League games with nothing but solo queue riders multiple times this past week.
Yep.
People want to pick out of order. It makes the game way better. Rank matters less.
Was not as much in your boat before I left, but coming back, I'm just like, yeah, I think this is it. I think this is the special sauce of Team League. If for nothing else, it's just being able to pick out of order.
Yeah, knowing you got that Kerrigan player and you got the best you can out of those various things. I will say there's one thing that's kind of insane this past week. You buff Lily. What? For eSports? Why'd we buff Lily? Like, she is the emergency, oops, I can't support, let me grab a support, and now she's one of the strongest supports. What'd we do there? Side note, but we messed up. Lily's too powerful.
Lily's the great unifier. She's the hero we're all somehow good with.
Yeah, we're all good at taking damage and pressing Q a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've really come around on Lily over the years. But yeah, so my point is we don't need hero swaps. Party finder improvements. I'm not even sure what this means anymore. I'm assuming it means like quick match rules, and we have gotten those. Those have come. Quick match rules have been improved.
I believe this is like, you know, when you're on the main screen and it's like, hey, so-and-so is looking for party. And you don't know why or who that person is.
Oh, if that's it, okay, then yeah, I guess that's whatever.
It's suggesting someone close to your MMR who you might be interested in partying with. And I think they flagged themselves in some option you may have forgotten to click at some point.
Yeah, okay, so this has definitely been forgotten then, because I don't even know what it is.
It's replaced by a new promise, which is that quick match rules are going to be improved so that we got to queue a little longer maybe, but you'll get a tank and you'll get a support so that you gear yourself up to play ranked games.
Yeah. Clans. This is one where I'm like, yeah, this should be in the game. This is a team game. Why don't we have a place to hang out for our team?
Yeah, I'd just like to theme it up a little bit, you know, be like, hey, patrons, you're executors, you know, congratulations.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
We can now...
Oh, you started to say something. I thought you were going to finish it.
We can now like silence some, you know, if you're being a little too salty in our channel, nothing we can do about it. We'll let you go. Maybe kindly say, whoa, that's a bit much, but, you know, give you a little silence in our clan.
Right. I'm glad that the custom chat channels exist because we have no other option. But a proper social clan, like fully featured edition would be good. I don't know why World of Warcraft seems to have 7 different ways to have communities, and every other Blizzard game is just in a drought of ways to be friends.
I'm a really big fan of communities because it means I don't have to join your guild to participate in your events. But
it's amazing. Yes. You explained it to me, and I'm like, this sounds like the stupidest thing ever. World of Warcraft is 1,000,001 ways to stay in touch with one another. Why do we need this? And then I tried it, and I'm like, damn, here's another social feature in World of Warcraft that works really well.
Yeah.
So, I would really, really like to hear something about new social features, whether it's clans or not. I don't care. Like, the community tab in World of Warcraft is amazing. Just give us that. Please and thank you. API, we've talked ad nauseum about this and how much we would like it.
It'd be good to have official stats, particularly now that we have 2 stats to report. And I'm looking at Team League stats more. Hot Slogs is still set to Auto Hero League, and it would just be nice to have those official numbers.
I would assume that Hot Slogs might be having a conversation about whether or not to change that.
Yeah. And we do know, too, that API can be a show of health of the game. You know?
Mm-hmm.
People take a lot of things seriously about dead gameage, and it'd be an easy place for people to find those numbers to make those arguments.
That's true. And also the devs have said that it's not coming soon, so I don't expect to hear a damn thing about the API at BlizzCon.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And then the performance-based matchmaking was also listed in this 2016 announcement, and, well, we all know how that went. We did get it for half a second, and then it kind of broke the game and was removed.
Yeah, and in particular that we don't value mercenaries as much, and they showed us the example that Illidan would get a certain number of points for taking mercenary camps and joining team fights. Now he may never take a mercenary camp, and we have different maps, and you can see how it got real awful real quick. Something League of Legends has been trying for a bit is they run a AI bot game in the background while you play, and then they compare you to the bot.
Weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still, at the end of the day, like, it's comparing you to a arbitrary rule set, which I think is the concern with what you just brought up with Illidan as the example, right?
Yeah.
But, well, I guess maybe the AI changes on the fly based on the way that the game is going?
Right, it would make decisions.
Okay.
It would, but you know, that decision that the enemy made isn't the same decision it made in your game, so maybe the AI bought a different item than you, and what happens after minute 5?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, of everything in here, the only thing I really want to hear about is social features, or what I think there is even a chance of hearing about, because we're not going to hear about API. Performance-based matchmaking, I think we might get like an update on, like them telling us, hey, it doesn't work, don't expect to see it anytime soon, is kind of where my head is at because of how quiet they've been on performance-based matchmaking. And then hero swaps would be interesting. I wanted, like I said before I left, I really want to know what they make of all of this team league shift.
Yeah.
So,
To me, hero swaps, I mean, granted, this is coming from an antisocial 2010 mindset where you were like the idea of coming home and the game's like, hey, you just got done with customer service. How's it going? You want to join a call while you play this video game? And I'm like, no, are you crazy? Nowadays I use voice chat because I've become accustomed to it. If you're gaming and you don't have a mic in your area, you're doing the world a disservice. What are you doing in the multiplayer genre? But in the past, my brain is still kind of like hero swaps. I'm like, oh, all I remember is someone picking a hero I don't want and then saying, hey, I'm a better X than you. Swap me. And I'm not going to play why'd you pick that if you weren't going to play it?
yeah, that's the type of social situation I don't want to be in. So I haven't noticed any rage yet as far as like instant snap picks of heroes that people disagree with.
No, and we are removed from bronze. Like there is apparently, you know, the hearsay I receive, there is a place, silver bronze, where that stuff happens and the rage flows. I do not see it at all.
I don't either. So it's interesting. Again, I want to hear the devs take on it. That's where my brain's at. So, but that's it. That's enough of that. Clans, please, is my takeaway.
Yep, and whether or not it's your quick match rule improvements or the pie in the sky co-op mode and AI battles, an important thing to address is how we get AI players to play and queue in our games. What's the progression?
I don't know. I don't know many. I know 2. I went to college with them.
The AI players?
Yes, I know 2 AI players in real life.
Other MOBAs have all pick. You have to get in there, and sometimes it's all pick go in the pile, and everybody dashes for the ball dodgeball style, and sometimes you don't get one. And you don't get what you wanted, and now you're stuck in a game or you're going to be a lever. The quick match is very special. You queue what you want, and you will wait, but you will play exactly the hero you want. And AI enhances people to do that very same thing without maybe any rage, without having to fight Genjis 24/7. But it's a good game. It's when it's a human, it's totally more fun to beat them. It's unpredictable. fantastic.
I wonder if they've ever run any simulations for instituting hero-specific bans in quick match, and how that would affect the game. Like,
yeah,
I feel there's enough heroes that it wouldn't corner the market. Like, I don't think everyone would ban Genji, and then all Genjis would just end up in a 10v10 Genji game. But I don't know.
right. Like, I mean, there are some of you that it's safe to come out, man. Like, I still see some emails from time to time. They're like, "Can Chromie? If she wasn't in this damn game, I'd play quick match, but I hate Chromie." And I'm like, what? I haven't seen a Chromie in a long time in my quick matches.
I mean, it's all very specific anecdotes, right? Like you thinking you get Hanamura in the morning.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
It's
True.
we all have our own personal things. Don't talk to me about spreading plague in Hearthstone right now. I don't even want to think about it. Don't do it. I see the gears turning. Don't even think about it. But
All right.
yeah, I don't know. I think however you want to play this game is the correct way to play it. It's your time. It's your decision. Go for it.
Some people like train.
That's a hard one for me to
Moving
stomach. Esports, man. Freaking BlizzCon esports, HGC. The finals have begun, actually, at the time of recording this. They are still happening. So I should probably open up the results so I can find out if my pick is out. Of course they're not, because
No, they're schooling.
yeah. Genji is my pick. Like, they won last year. I don't care how many name changes they've had. The roster's the same. They had the exact same roster, Kyle. Like, they're a well-oiled machine.
It's going to be an enjoyable time. If you are at BlizzCon, I certainly camp out the entire second day in the Heroes Pit. It is worth it. It is a blast. These are getting going, as we said, ahead of time. They're playing right now. They're trying to decide their bracket stage, and they are eliminating those who do not make it.
Yeah. Some of the games I watched today were really good. A lot of them were really one-sided.
Sure.
But I would recommend Team Liquid versus Miracle, especially Game 1, if you haven't watched that yet. I was on, oh my God, Towers of Doom, and it was incredible. And I think you could learn a lot about comebacks from watching this game.
And it was enjoyable too, because it is our Hearthstone map you can give, and one team gave a little too much and ended up not being able to control it later on when they thought they'd have their power spike.
Yep. But I'm excited, man. I mean, that's kind of the point too. Like, you're gonna have some one-sided matches. We don't have enough international competition throughout the year in Heroes of the Storm, so it's kind of a clash of metas that's gonna happen. And that's kind of the point of this, right? It's like, hopefully by the time we get to the top 8 and we get to BlizzCon, it's a little more equally matched.
Right, and this has always happened in esports. There's, certain matchups have been easier, certain seedings have made it easier. In some cases, seedings have gone so well early in the year that a team became unpracticed or even lazy. And now they've inserted themselves into late in the game, and you go, oh my! It's been 2 months since you've been on a live stage, hasn't it? Mm-hmm. And live stage in general, it's a fascinating exchange. Some teams can't do the LAN with the crowd there.
Yeah. So besides who I think will win, I mean, like who do you want to win, man? Who are you rooting for?
I mean, I always give a little cheer for Dignitas. They've been around a long time. They're the old family pet. Like to visit them.
I am in the exact same boat, man, because Fnatic isn't here.
Yeah.
Like, they've been second place forever, and they're not here. And I feel like Dignitas has been damn near as consistent. They're one of the best teams in this game, but I feel like every year of Heroes so far, they've been living in Fnatic's shadow, and now they're kind of the star of the European circuit.
What's really interesting to me is how Blizzard might have to adapt their format and their BlizzCon system for the future, because there's a lot of people upset right now, actually, that they're on crunch time. They need to get down to these semifinal brackets, and that means there are matches being streamed right now that are not casted. And it's a bit of a problem with the single elimination with a 2-day system. It's it's glorious when you're there, you know? Oh, and then the people walk into the audience and you're like, hey, they're enjoying BlizzCon. Like when you're at home watching, you're like, they should have had another chance. There should be a loser's bracket and a chance to come back. And that was an unfavorable matchup and it was unfair. How could the final tournament of the year be decided in an unfair way?
I mean, I don't like single elimination, but I don't mind not seeing all the games. I feel like whatever esport I talk about, I'm the one saying that there's too much to watch. But I mean, there's also an argument for this could just be drawn out or scheduled better.
Yeah, I think for me, I need more hype around a season in the end to talk about bigger picture. I want to know Heroes is on, not Heroes is always on, and I'm missing it because at that point it's kind of like missing the beginning of a World of Warcraft expansion, like I've done in the past. Oh, missed the first month. I'm probably too far behind. Whoops. See you next one.
Yeah, that's an issue. I think a lot of esports are having it, but I also feel you and I are biased because we started watching esports with GSL StarCraft, and it was very regimented. It's scheduled, and every night you were just like, oh, it's group A, B, C, or D. I know who's in it. Every night I get to watch a storyline play out.
And you can find particular players. They do change games, but in StarCraft, they picked a race. They were Zerg. You always wanted to see, I always wanted to see ZVT. And ZVP, I didn't want to see ZVZ. No Zerg versus Zerg. It was too wacky. So when I looked at the schedule, I knew exactly what I was lining up for, and they were individuals that I was picking out. Here, I'm like, oh, wait, Tempo Storm. Oh, they're okay. They're made up. All right. Maybe he'll pick my favorite hero.
I mean, yeah, I think any MOBA is difficult if that's how you want to watch it, right? If you want to see specific heroes played, especially if they're not meta. I mean, it's like I had it on at lunch today. Katie comes home for lunch. She doesn't watch a lot of heroes, but she knows enough. She's just like, is anyone picking Murky yet?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, honey, I'm sorry. It doesn't happen anymore. It barely happened ever.
Poor guy.
Yeah. So we're making our lunches, and she's just like, I just want to see someone pick Murky. Murky or Cho'Gall. That's how you get Katie to watch a professional Heroes game. But, yeah. So, but I don't know. I still saw some really good games today. There weren't as many, I think, as there were stomps. I mean, so far today in Group A, it is nothing but 2-0s. All down the board. But in there are some really good games.
And that's pretty standard for the stage.
Yeah, so I still think we're going to be treated to some damn good games once we get to the top 8. I'm looking forward to it. And good Lord, man, we're going to be at Blizz. We're going to be at the freaking convention center this time next week. Bring it on! I can't wait. And then I feel like this whole episode is like up and down. Like, this is awesome. This is less great. This is awesome. This is less great. And to go back down into a little bit of Bummerville is there's been a lot of chatter on the Reddit lately about all of the streamers that are quitting Heroes.
Now, if it is a roller coaster, whenever you go downhill, you go fastest. So it's exciting.
Okay, so the uphill is the bad stuff.
Well, I mean, that's where your stomach, it goes into your heart, and you go, oh. So it's all parts of the ride are good. Yeah, and that's how I feel about streamers leaving, players retiring. The Heroes is an older game now. I don't see this as anything different than any other game with notable players. It's kind of the cycle. Yeah, we do take a lot of cues from Twitch. And when people look to get into games, they want to know that it's populated enough that they will be able to make friends there. And maybe that's where the majority of the fear comes from when people are deciding whether something or not is a dead game. It's certainly difficult. And there are those issues with Heroes of the Storm where it's tough to be a party game. It's tough to meet with your friends. I'm not talking about once a week. I'm talking about once every 2 months. You have an all meet up. You're like, oh man, tonight's our game night. It's so good to see you all again. You want to play some Heroes? And I'm like, nah, I don't really want to feel like a loser at the end of the night. I don't want to feel bad at something. And competitive games will always have that. So we do look to streamers and content creators to make this game feel lived in, and pro players to stick it out. and become more skilled and make us believe that the top end is somewhere they want to be. And when these guys depart or get bored or get burnt out, it can be really scary.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I understand all of that, but also we've been through this with other games.
Yeah.
I've seen this before. I mean, StarCraft is still alive and kicking. Still doing just fine, even though we walked away from it.
It's highly respected too. Maybe it's the single player aspect, the difficulty of that game. When MOBAs don't have that clout anymore, there is something very scary. Maybe because so many have failed in the past.
Yeah, but we saw that fear in StarCraft multiple times.
Absolutely.
How many times was dead game? Like, that's where I learned about dead game as a saying was StarCraft. It just kind of goes with the territory of just online gaming communities. And it's just, I think, become a little more amplified with the popularity of Twitch, but I don't see it as anything different. Plus, it opens the door to new talent.
And here's something I'd ask you for our, things that should be addressed at BlizzCon. Do you think them walking out like they did with StarCraft for years and saying the prize pool's bigger, even bigger next year, is that enough?
I mean, it makes for good headlines, man. Like,
yeah.
To me at home, I don't get that excited about prize pools anymore. But there is a correlation between prize pools and the success of esports.
Yeah.
But I just want a watchable story. I want them to figure out the best way to schedule these professional games so that it's easy to digest most of it. Because right now it's very difficult to keep up with everything.
And a lot of that, I think, for me, comes down to the level of expertise I will see. And I've had this experience in Dota before, where Admiral Bulldog was his name. And I knew all his main heroes. And when he picked Malfurion, as it was there, Keeper of the Grove, was it Keeper of the Grove? Teleported a lot. It was Malfurion's Mile, I was stoked. And I knew that something special had just happened.
I haven't really had that with anyone. It's maybe you, honestly. You're, yeah, but it's very. I think of it as very personal. I don't feel as removed, because to me, Twitch is a place to go and watch esports, and I don't really watch it for single personalities. With the exception of when I'm on a really, really hardcore PUBG bender, then I'm tuning into PUBG streams. But that's just because I feel like I play better when I do that.
And a lot of this is based around pro play. When we look at streamers departing from heroes, a lot of it is burnout, but quite a bit of it is frustrations that they feel haven't been addressed. And the higher you go, the longer your queue times are, the more you focus on your frustrations. And you can't blame them there.
I mean, that's a concern going in. When I mentioned earlier in the show that, I think WoW, Diablo, and Hearthstone are going in, kind of guarded to BlizzCon. I don't think Heroes is exempt from that. I mean, there's a lot of folks that are still concerned about Hero League. There's some folks that are not on board for Team League becoming the new norm. And I don't think that's unfair. I've read quite a bit of the criticism, and they bring up good points, even though I'm personally having a good time with it. And again, it all comes back to I just want to hear what they have to say about what's been going on with Team League in regards to how it's going to affect their direction of the game as a whole.
So basically what we're saying, much like this show, BlizzCon is going to be a Game of Thrones episode. There's going to be some characters you like, and you're going to be like, all right, finally, we're getting to what I wanted to see. Yeah, Tyrion, do it. And then we're going to, oh no. Okay, we're back. All right. Wait. Oh, they skipped it. They didn't address what I wanted in this episode.
Oh, God, that's actually good, because that means there's a chance that Train is actually assassins and not a terrible band, and I won't have to listen to them.
Oh, all right. I brought it back on you. You brought it back on me.
Just going to keep it going, man. Just going to keep it going. So, yeah, I'm not worried at all. It's fine. This is just games in general. But yeah, before we take some emails and wrap this up, let's thank our patrons, Kyle. Let's if you enjoy our show here and you want to support the two of us, head on over to patreon.com/ITN. As a matter of fact, actually, that's disingenuous. You're not supporting just the two of us. You're also supporting Jeff Kanata because we hit a goal where we get to pay Jeff Kanata to come back on the show once a month for his time, and we love that. And we are very close to our next goal, which we've hit in the past, ebb and flow of Patreon, where we'll be paying pro players to come back on, pay them for the time, and join us once a month. So it basically bring us up to 2 guest episodes a month, and we get to pay the guests, which is the coolest thing ever, and I never thought we'd get to do it. So thank you so much, patrons. But this week, I want to thank some of our newer patrons. Thank you to 3scapes, thank you to Todd J, and thank you to Max VS. And if you haven't been thanked yet, we thank in the order that we were you signed up, and we usually do about 3 an episode, so it can take some time to get to you. But thank you for the support. And Kyle, we also have a new producer as of today.
We do.
Yeah, so we got Declan H. He's been here like forever. We got Cheesy Bob, who's been here also like forever. We've got Pythagos, who has been here for a while now, and we have the newest producer, Crusader Dave.
And awesome that Crusader Dave joined us. I get to play a lot with Crusader Dave. Had some great games with him recently. So thank you for supporting the show. And we look forward to playing with our patrons tonight. This is our Patreon Bonanza. We head into Team League, which I say is still special. We're 5-stacking it, but maybe I need to play some music in the background or something. A little less special now that we head into Team League.
No,
and I think we'll
don't. It's still special, Kyle. Stop.
Then I'm afraid we'll fight great opposition rather than the 5 stacks that may come.
No, I disagree. I think we're going to end up in more balanced matchups because more people are playing this mode, and it's going to be a great place to hang.
That's true.
It's going to keep poking you. It's great. Thanks again, everybody, for the support. Head on over to patreon.com/ITN. Now, let's wrap the show up with an email or two.
Darkness stopped calling.
Hold on. Darkness just texted me.
Okay, tell them I'm not here.
ITNcast@gmail.com is the place to send your emails. Master TS writes in and says, "Hello, y'all. Today, IGN announced it's trying something new for its Call of Duty review. It's reviewing the modes separately, giving the Battle Royale, Zombies, and traditional multiplayer individual scores, and saying they might do the same for other games going forward. If this was applied to Heroes, how would the modes score? Would Team League get a 5 out of 5? Would Brawl get a 2 out of 5? Use whatever review scale you like." I think 5 out of 5 is a good, like... Do you want to do 5 or 10?
No, I like 5 because once you go 10, then you're going into like 0.75s and stuff. Like you got to be clear. 5 stars. Let's do stars.
Okay. All right. Well, first up, try mode. Kyle, what would you give try mode?
I'd give it a solid 4.
What's missing from try mode?
I want the option to control the ally. I want to know certain interactions. I want to control the enemy and have them cast certain stuns or spells on me so I know what those things look like.
Ooh, okay. All right. It's good defense. It's pretty much where mine was at, but I didn't really know why I was deducting a point. It just seems like there could probably be some extras, and those are good ones. You can tell who uses try mode more in the show.
I do.
AI versus AI. I'm just lumping in all the AI votes here.
I wouldn't be the guy to give this article.
That's pretty much all I play on PTR. It's pretty decent. I feel like a 4 out of 5. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, what else would I do? I would almost give it a 5 out of 5 because if I want it to be hard, I can make it hard.
4 out of 5. I would like AI mode to have some sort of scaling, much like the AI does in StarCraft. It has a cap, but as you beat certain levels AI, it says you've leveled up and makes a big deal about it and lets you know that you're ready for more advanced AI.
I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right. That is kind of cool. Okay.
You can also choose what type of AI you have, whether it's a rushing AI, a late macro AI, and those can be a lot of fun to try certain builds if you're being serious, but also it's nice to just say, hey, don't rush me, bro.
I have to assume that's a lot easier to program for a game with 3 races.
Probably.
As opposed to however many unique arrangements of 5 heroes there is in this game.
Well, I have this issue with like World of Warcraft forums, and they're like, hey, I've got a great farming spot. Not going to say, I'm just saying it's really easy to get anchor weed. And I'm like, well, dude, That's not a post. And yesterday I saw a guy ran Thrall, and my team didn't draft any of the obvious counters. This game sucks.
How is that the
like,
same?
And I'm like, what? Well, what's an obvious Thrall counter?
Okay, there you go.
He didn't have any answers. He's telling me a sweet farm spot. I don't know what it is.
All right. Makes
So
sense.
if I could be like, hey, show me give me a late game comp, and it loads me up on late game comps, that AI person starts to learn, oh, they need to hit their level 16 power spike before they can stop me.
Quick match.
I think if I was reviewing for a magazine and this game was brand new, I'd 5 out of 5 it.
Really?
Oh yeah. But you gotta remember how important it is to me coming from other MOBAs that I get the hero I want. Because that's why I sat down to play that night.
Okay. All right. I would give it a solid 2.5.
That's fair.
I think this is the most kind of mediocre mode in the game, but it is also my personal preference. Like, I want to draft. I want to know where I'm going, like what battleground I'm about to hit, and what I'm going to be playing against, and adapt before I even enter the game.
You're also talking to a guy who's been on a Maiev bender and a Morales bender. And I get in my A-Move chat, /join A-Move TV, and I say, hey, smiley face Morales emoji, looking for more.
Okay,
People show up, and they get in my medevac, and we fly.
I mean, if we're saying, well, how do I rate quick match when I have a group of people I love playing with? But
that's all I use it for.
All right.
And burgers are only good with friends. Well, I only eat them with friends.
No, they're not. They're good all the time.
But yeah, okay.
It's burger.
Hibachi. You want to go sit in a hub like they're making the onion volcano for you, and you're sitting there by yourself?
Oh,
Hibachi's better with friends.
If I was wearing a hat, I would take it off to you right now. I pushed you, and you came back with the perfect retort. Well done. Well done. Yeah, you're right. Hibachi would be... I've never had hibachi alone, but I don't think I would enjoy it.
Oh, and the grill would be so small. It's just the one guy there, and like maybe he's trying to make sad conversation with you. Feeling bad.
If there
for
was like a hibachi bar, like a sushi bar, that'd be great. Like just walk in, just put your butt in the seat and figure it out.
Oh, sure. The thing is like the length of the bar, and then he's busy. Then you don't have to worry about like airplane conversation. He's got the guy next to you. He's down the street. You know, like the sushi chefs are. They're busy.
Yep, exactly. But yeah, no, I think of quick match. I think of solo queuing for some reason. It's just the first place my brain goes, and I'm like, yeah, it gets the job done. It's not what I'm into this game for. So, Brawl. I don't really play it, but I don't.
I'm
think
ready
it's
to be
bad.
dramatic. 1 out of 5.
1 out of 5. Okay, yeah.
I gave Quick Match a lot of leniency.
If I was reviewing this, I would give it an NA for didn't play it. Have no opinion.
If this was a Dungeons and Dragons character sheet, this is where I wouldn't put any of my stats.
Yeah. I'm of two minds here. Like, is it actually bad, or is it just not for me? I think it's just not for me. I think there's some cool brawls in there. There's some really good ideas. I just don't. I'm not playing. That's not why I log into Heroes.
I think they know that they were successful with the StarCraft one where you defended against the Zerg and you had a base. It was fun. And that's what I want Brawl to be. I don't need Quick Match Lite. I've got Quick Match.
Yeah, more PvE in there would be great. I'd be into that. Be very into that. Hero League.
3 at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, I think at this exact moment. But what do you think, like, over the lifetime of the game?
Over the lifetime, I mean, it's been my main mode for such a long time. We'd even that out. It's sway. We'd even out to a 4.
That's where I lean towards, but yeah, I think at the moment I'm with you on the 3. And then Team League. Just like, again, I would almost like your lifetime grade and then your now grade.
Right. Like being paid. This is my magazine article. Just came out today. You're like 5 out of 5. Shower. The graphics amazing. God of War. Everyone must play. Like that. It'd be shining. But in the longevity, I'd probably do the same 3 in the past.
I think it goes between a 3 and a 4. Picking out of order, 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I dig it.
Oh, there's no unranked in here, but Team League's the new unranked anyway.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to put unranked in here. Sorry.
In fact, that just seems kind of like, whoa, stop. Actually, yeah, I'm looking at this right now. I'm thinking, let's not divide the community. What's unranked doing there? We don't need it.
Exactly.
My opinion.
It seems superfluous. But yeah. Thanks,
You want
Master
to draft
DS.
in order?
Sorry. Oh, drafting in order? Yeah. I don't.
Yeah, you want to draft in order and not get points for it?
I really don't want to. Ladder anxiety. I think that's it. I want to draft, but I have ladder anxiety. That's unranked, which is a fair place to be. But thanks for that, Master GS. That was a really fun question. I didn't know they did that because I haven't read a review in forever. I feel like I just kind of know what games I want to play now.
I mean, I would have purchased. I wish they would divide Call of Duty for me because I'd like to play that zombie mode, but I don't care about the other 2 modes.
One of these days, I'm going to get you into a battle royale. Can we do just a little PUBG over the holiday break? Maybe just a little bit.
I mean, I like it. There's a key, sure, yeah.
A key?
Yes. Yeah, you know, like.
Oh, like the one I sent you for Destiny 2 that we've played so many hours up together.
Whoops. How much space is PUBG? Honestly, that's why I haven't tried Destiny because I'm low on my bytes.
Oh my God! Somebody mail Kyle a hard drive, please.
Yep, I need a new hard drive.
You don't need an SSD for everything, Kyle. You could probably get like 2 terabytes for like $3 now. I'm pretty sure for like a normal hard drive.
I curate my experience. I got room for 2 versions. I have 2 versions of Hear the Storm installed on my computer, sir, because of PTR.
So do I.
And WoW's big, and then I got room for like Factorio and Slay the Spire.
Atticus in the chat room says send him a USB stick.
I can fit Brood War on there.
They're pretty big now, dude. You can fit a game on there.
Then I only shop at Staples for my USBs.
Oh God! Next you're gonna tell me you're just playing with like a scroll ball.
Oh God, no. No, that's for golf games when you're drunk.
All right. Final email today comes to us from Koo, who says, I just wanted to write to you guys as an avid listener to your podcast over the past couple of years and a fan of Fergs in the morning, except it's in the evening for me as I am in the EU. One of the topics I find that comes up with somewhat regularity is finding a more social side to Heroes of the Storm with a bit of a competitive edge. Well, I believe I may have one of the best answers to this, and that is Heroes Lounge. This was a league that was exclusively run in Europe and catered to all levels of ability. I myself have been playing within this league for 5 seasons now, and on a personal experience, it has been very enjoyable. Not only have I met lots of new people, culminating in a trip to Jönköping, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Sweden, for DreamHack, he also says in here, don't ask me how to pronounce that, this year with no less than 60 members of the same league, but it has improved my gameplay to no end. I went from Gold 3 to Diamond 2, and also the sound advice from you guys, and remembering the saying from Jeff Kanata of stay positive, don't die. But I only thought I would mention this due to the new season coming around soon, will be the first time that the doors are open to the North American region. So for the first time, there will be a Heroes Lounge League run in NA. Koo goes on with a lot of details here, but for brevity's sake, I've shortened it to, he said, one of the best things about this league is that you don't even need a team to join. He said, I joined 5 seasons ago as a solo player and was able to find a group of people through the community to play with. For extra info, visit heroeslounge.gg. Again, that's heroeslounge.gg. It has more info there and links to various things like a Discord channel and stuff. This sounds awesome.
I'm glad we brought this up because it is suggested a lot, and we have talked about it on previous episodes, but not for a while. It's been there, and it is continuing to go, and he's absolutely right. When you head over there, you can look at their seasons, and they have teams as well as free agents, and this really fulfills that need maybe for your decorating, right? You want to have a team, you want to have some leagues, a format to play in, and you also want to, declare yourself a little avatar, have your players' names listed somewhere, look for other players for your team. And I agree. I hear about this place a lot. I haven't played with them in particular, but a very popular place to find fellow Heroes players to compete with.
Yep, and now open to NA, so get over there, heroeslounge.gg. Thank you for sharing that, Koo. I hadn't remembered Heroes Lounge, but it's possible I put it out of my mind because it didn't affect my country.
That's true. I believe we also mentioned them back in the chair league days, as they were one of the up-and-comer side options.
Gotcha. Okay, that would make sense. That was a while ago. But thank you for the emails, everybody. It's itncast@gmail.com if you want to be a part of the show. If you want to support the show, patreon.com/ITN. Thanks again to our producers, Declan H., Cheesy Bob Pythagos, and our newest producer, Crusader Dave. We have swag. I don't think it'll get to you in time for BlizzCon at this point, but you should still go check it out. Shirts.amove.tv for an Into the Nexus t-shirt, or for pint glasses, coffee mugs, and the like, which are custom etched with the Into the Nexus logo. Go to etched.amove.tv. We are typically live Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/amovetv, but we're getting on a plane, and we're going to BlizzCon.
Going to BlizzCon.
We're going to BlizzCon. So, no show next Thursday. You can come to Con Before the Storm in the Hilton and see both Kyle and I doing Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm panels. We'll be there. Then Friday, you can catch us on twitch.tv/amovetv at noon Pacific time, so noon local time to California. We'll be streaming Into the Nexus live from the Heroes of the Storm demo pit at BlizzCon, so you can tune into that. It'll also go up on the feed, so if you're out there thinking, I'm an audio listener, I'm not tuning in for that, we got you covered. We got you. And other than that, we're just going to be hanging out the whole time. So if you see us, come say hi. If you just want a high five, like, I don't even need to know why. I'm going to ask you why, but just come say hi. And if there's a seat next to us and we're watching eSports, come sit down. I want as many loud thunder sticks as possible and great marker-made signs. That'd be great.
Yes.
So before we go, Kyle, where can everybody find you around the internet?
You can find me at twitch.tv/Kyle Fergusson, 2 S's in Ferguson. I will also be doing a stream on my own channel from BlizzCon. That'll be Saturday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. And that is where I'll be doing all the tri-mode sort of business that you may know on my channel for the PTR days, trying out whatever's new with the button clicks and all that sort of business. So catch out that live during BlizzCon. And you should also follow me on Twitter at Kyle Fergusson, because I'll definitely be tweeting my thoughts throughout BlizzCon, as well as where I'm seated for that second day when I camp out. And I'd love for you guys to join us.
Sweet. Save 2 seats for me.
We'll try. It's an aggressive market.
Well, then save your lap.
All right.
You can find me on Twitter at Garrett Art, tweeting photos, most likely selfies taken from Kyle's lap at BlizzCon. If you're not following me on Instagram, I never promote it, so much to the fact that I'm actually having to open it right now because I never remember what my Instagram name is, but you can expect a lot, and I mean a lot, of BlizzCon pictures. Oh, it's Gare_GW, so GARE_GW. Follow me on there. Follow me at Garrett Art on Twitter. A lot of BlizzCon stuff coming. You can find me there. amove.tv for all of the other podcasts. Check it out. I'm going to be on the Instance tomorrow. I was gone from that show for 2 weeks as well. Looking forward to it. But that's going to wrap it up for this show. Can't wait to see everybody at BlizzCon again. Make sure you come on out to the meetup Friday night after the first night of BlizzCon, 9 p.m. at the Bullmore Anaheim Bowling Alley inside the Anaheim Garden Walk Mall. You can walk to it. You can walk to it from BlizzCon. It's not even that far. Come say hi. We'll be there all night. So we'll see you at BlizzCon, everybody. Good luck. Have fun. Safe travels.
Take care.
That's the show.
That's a show.
Burp, 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 burp. All right. Well, chat room will be back in 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours, yes.
2.5 hours for the Patron Bonanza, which will be firing up at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 6 o'clock Pacific. Do you just eat a super early lunch or dinner?
Do I? Oh, sort of. It's more like I eat half dinner and then I finish it later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. But I'm going to bring the stream down. We're going to post the show, go eat dinner, and we'll see you in 2.5 hours, everybody. Bye.
See you soon.